Hey,
Hey,
what do you want?
Maybe that's what it is. What does he want?
what do you mean?
You wanted to sit down and ask some questions. It seems as though you're a very important person and need things. So what do you want?
Oh, if you want to pursue asking us for money, yeah, let's sit down and go through a number of things.
Okay, let's go through them right now.
No, now's not the time.
Dad, now is the time. We need money right now. We don't have any money for
We're running
food,
out of
gas,
the deadline.
or propane, and we have paperwork coming up. Now's the conversation. Let's have it. We got time.
We, we've got obligations right now.
Really,
no,
Dad?
No. I
Can you
understand financial obligations. Is there any other solution?
Yeah, is there any other solution, Dad?
Well, how about in a while later tonight?
We're not strictly asking for money. We were just asking for solutions.
Hey, why do you need to have a conversation with us?
If anyone's going to ask me money, I want to understand where the money's going. I want to explore alternatives to just giving you money.
Okay, perfect. I was actually hoping you'd give me that exact answer. How do you not understand where the money would already go at this point? Have we not discussed that?
No, I don't know where $25 to $50 a day goes.
Do you need to know?
Yeah, before I give that much money to anyone, I would sit down and I'd like to know where it's going.
Okay, so if a friend came to you and said, "Hey, I need some car repairs. I don't know how much it'll cost, but if you throw me like $500, it might help me out enough." Are you gonna ask him what sort of car repairs he needs?
Yes.
And basically, are you gonna ask him to go shop around for a lower price, or are you gonna trust him that he already did his homework?
Depends on the person.
So, do you not trust me that I already did my homework?
I have a hard time understanding where $25 to $50 a day goes.
Gas, food,
Okay.
and propane.
Okay, let's go over it. Ready? Here you go, Dad. You wanted that conversation. It's really easy. We can have it right now. I'll go over it with you. Ready? Here it is.
15 liters gas.
We, first off, need to cover this once and for all. We legitimately and wholeheartedly have tried alternative food methods like food banks and shelters. They take up time. They do not coincide with my hernia. They do not provide enough food. They, overall, set us back because we don't have enough time in our day to just do regular things to save money. We're basically trying to do whatever it takes to have time to put together paperwork. It's actually negative for us to go and spend time in food banks and shelters. We actually panned first, then tried the shelters, then tried the food bank, didn't work, went back to panning. Panning is easier for us to get the money we need for the food we need with the littlest amount of energy time possible. This isn't a normal calculation for poor people that just need a hand up. We are in very unusual circumstances with regards to paperwork and attorneys and time.
Half the times we go to the food bank, it's empty.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you've ever actually been to the food bank twice a week for several months. We did. We actually did.
Over close to 100 times.
Yeah, we've been there hundreds of times, Dad. Dozens of times. So, preamble over. We shop for food because it's cheap. Groceries are cheap. We don't do fast food. We also compensate by panning spots that are close to food so people could give us food instead of money. It doesn't matter. But if you want to know where all the money goes to, let's add it up here. Ready? We have a daily list that we go through. To us, $5 to $15 of food is enough for us.
No, it's about 20.
About 10 on average daily. And if we wanted to get ahead of ourselves, because we can't buy grocery items on a day-to-day basis, it's going to be like 20 every other day or something like that. So 5 to 15, but about, I'm going to say, to eat like a normal person, because we have normal rights and we don't need to be eating out of trash cans or expired food that doesn't jive well with our schedules and our health. Keep in mind, hernia, Dad, I can't eat that kind of food. I've tried. We spend 15 a day on food. So 15 a day, moving on. Propane might be $4, might be $8. It's really easy. Let's just throw in an average of $5. It's getting warmer. On the harsh nights, it's 2 propanes, mostly 1 propane. So now that's $20. Now, yes, we do medicate because we have a lot of issues, psychological, mental, physical, medical issues. Yes, we're going to procure medicine.
Guess what? It's federal law now.
It's also federal law, and it's also costing a lot less to deal with my hernia problems right now, as opposed to going to surgery and things like that. So yes, we buy anywhere between 5 and 15 in bud. It would be nice to get more because there's a certain level of, it's like taking half a Tums for your acid. It doesn't work if you don't get enough of it. So, and it's not like we're smoking our dope, crazy, dope, and fucking retarded shit, getting high every day. Okay, moving on. So that's 20 plus maybe 10 or more. If we had a thin day, we could do it with like $30. You know, light days maybe 20. Heavy days, if we try and get ahead of ourselves, maybe 40. When it comes to cutting out all of these bills, we tried the food bank to get our lower costs. It actually took away from the time it took for panning for our other bills. So also keep in mind, Dad, now going over the other bills. Daily isn't just daily. The world doesn't just stop so you can go get food and gas and that's it. So let's say 20 a day, real light for the both of us. That's $10 for propane, gas, and food and bud and everything. Oh man, I'm just throwing that out there. Let's say 25 a day, real light. Guess what else we have? We have other things that I can't get a mailbox at the Murphy Center. I'm sorry, I'm going to go pay for a normal mailbox so I can check it on my own dime. And when I change addresses, I'm not going to change addresses from the Murphy Center. So a lot of people tell me, just go get a mailbox from the Murphy Center. You know, start cutting some costs, you know, save. Nope, I'm going to pay my $10 a month mailbox. And so that may not be a lot, but add that into maybe $10 a month in restitution that I have to get. Add that into a whole bunch of other little things that we've been trying to get, like a second table for our van so Dave can work, another DVI adapter for him so we don't have to share. Ergonomic pillows. Little things like a USB fan because we're having trouble circulating our air. These are very one-time purchases, but we've been putting them off because we've been trying to not work so we can put our paperwork together. But money is time. It's all the same thing. And so you add in a mouse in there, like... couple smaller things. It would be nice to get a cooler again so our food could last longer. At one point we were picking up dry ice to help save costs of food, and that worked really well. We had a couple one-time purchases, like we needed to get some curtains so we could stop being lynched, and paint job. We ended up doing that. And I only have a month-to-month subscription, for the fast case. It's a month over, so I need to pay for that again. And so, I also have some audio I need for my evidence. We also have some small van repairs, $100, maybe $200. I also need one more battery to make sure all of my electronics are working. And these are all things that I added up over the last 6 months. They haven't changed. We've just been doing the minimums to get by, and then these things add up over time, and they're just getting to be a large hump. So it's not $25 a day for freaking food and basics, man. It's everything else that everybody else needs to live. It needs other things, by the way. Clothes. I needed new pants. I had to get some new pants finally. My shoes are falling apart. Your 2 gig plan sucks. We don't need. We need 5 gigs
so we can keep going.
We need transmission fluid, oil, little things. These things are on average going to add up maybe $5, maybe $10 a day. And so that's why we're up to like 25 to 50 a day, is because we're trying to lead a somewhat normal life so that we can get our paperwork together, so that we don't spend 8 hours a day hanging around the shelters and the food banks and then waiting in line for so forth and so on for the homeless resources out there. So there you go, Dad. We're human. We're going to maintain some sort of level of human dignity. And I don't care. I'm not asking you specifically. I'm asking anybody who has half a brain to see that other people need help in this world when they get wronged. And sure, it's not a physical wronging. I'm not bleeding. But you know what?
Yeah, it actually is.
Actually, physically, it kind of does suck every day. It takes me a little bit longer to get.
I'm still
to eat
injured.
But you know what, Dad? This is what I thought I'd say to you if it ever came down to it. I think a big problem that you and anybody else has with understanding and trusting where the money is going is this whole idea of conditionalness. And it's a lot harder to tell if someone's being honest with where they're asking for their money and stuff like that. When, I already tried to tell these guys a while ago, and I was being about accurate. I need about 10 grand to cover all of the time and legal expenses of all the cases. And I'm just asking right now for like $500 for just my own case, or just this one. I'm willing to do everything else. But if you're curious as to why ultimately we don't let go of these rights, we can't just go get a job right now, because it certainly looks like we do.
Falsify
No,
a rape act?
it's not that. It's this, Dad. You taught us to turn the other cheek. And while that may be possible for 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or maybe 4 times, when we get the same exact treatment over and over and over again by a society that, as far as I can tell, has done everything they can to avoid learning these lessons, they're babies, about the 8th or 9th time, I'm going to stop turning the other cheek, and I'm going to start exercising rights where no one else is. And it's bureaucratic. Yes, it's not bleeding, but I'm going to have to take time to put together paperwork just like a regular lawyer would. Just like if we were to pay for regular lawyers, we would be billing the other side for regular lawyer fees, not for my time to go down to the food bank. That's giving them a discount, and that's also dehumanizing me. So I don't really have that complicated of legal issues. It's actually really simple stuff that just simply has to be written down. And the only complicated thing is that it takes time to write it down. And in this country, everybody likes to basically extort everybody else to work via not giving them any time because they don't give them any resources. And outside of get a job or stay at the shelter. And so we don't need resources, Dad. We're not homeless. I don't need a food bank. I'm not poor.
We need to get back to a job.
I used to have a job that was $24 grand a year. $500 is not a lot of money, but it is right now because I'm trying to hold my rights intact. I'm trying to maintain some semblance of sanity because you guys told me to do this. The world told me to exercise rights when it came down to people wronging me, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. So if you don't believe me, there. So I'm done. Yeah, there you go. You got it all. What else do you want now?
Yeah, we have people coming over. We can pick up this conversation afterwards.
Okay, so
I'll give you a call then.
so what do you want?
I'll give you a call here in a little while. Probably an hour and a half.
Okay, then.
At the latest, I'll give you a call.
Hey, let me ask you this question, Dad. Real quick.
Yeah, I gotta go now.
Okay, I'm not calling you back because this conversation's never going to be over. If you guys can't figure it out by now, if you think that you can micromanage some of my finances still, get real!
Kidnapping, you fucking child abuser!
Goodbye!